Greetings from Spokane, Washington. Welcome to a webinar about unpacking your financial aid offer. My name is Tracy Spoon-Stensland. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Student Financial Services here at Whitworth University. I've been blessed to serve this beautiful campus for just about 30 years, and I'm looking forward to spending the next 30 minutes or so with you, helping you understand what our financial aid offer presents and opportunities it will highlight for your student. I'd like to start off with this slide, partly because I was a first generation student that when I did my college search, didn't even consider private schools. And part of the reason I didn't is my family, just understood those were for people who had a lot in resources for higher education. And I wasn't going to be one of those students that had resources like that to attend. And what I'm so proud to say is that Whitworth University serves a diverse group of students from social and different economic backgrounds. And so when a student says, I can't go to a private school, like I said, that's not true, because we have very strong and robust financial aid programs that support all students. And so this just warms my heart to know that we have students from all different backgrounds affording and attending our university. Before we get started on reviewing the actual financial aid offer, I just want to make sure everybody has an understanding of some common terms that we'll be using. All universities, all colleges have to assign students a cost of attendance when we're calculating financial aid resources. So those are usually broken up into two buckets. The first bucket we reference as direct costs or billable costs, and that includes tuition fees, housing, and food. The second bucket would be indirect costs, costs not charged by the universities or colleges, but they're still expenses related to higher education, like books and supplies, transportation, travel, miscellaneous other expenses. We encourage all families to complete the free application for federal student aid, or the WASFA. They are free processes. They're secure processes through the federal government, and we would like to be able to present as much financial aid as possible to students in their offers, and those applications allow us to calculate how much a student would have eligibility for in need-based programs based on their expected family contribution. Those forms tell us how much families have in resources for higher education, not necessarily how much is going to be owed or paid, but it just gives us a sense and a standard calculation to use to calculate financial aid. There are basically four different types of financial aid. Scholarships are awarded to students typically based on grades, GPA, merits, and grants are typically awarded based on financial need. Both scholarships and grants are considered gift aid and don't have to be repaid. They're the most popular type of financial aid. Then we have loans. We have a very nice federal student loan program that's very student focused that students can use. And then students can also work and earn money under our student employment programs. Both loans and student employment are considered self-help. The student has to do something like pay the loans back or earn the money to have those as resources. But all four of these help students attend college every day. Okay, so students will receive different looking financial aid offers from different schools. Although there is a best practice, set of best practices that we're asked to adhere to make sure that students and consumers are getting some basic information on every financial aid offer. I'm particularly in favor of ours. I think we do a really good job spelling out the resources and the costs. And so I'm excited to walk you through it so that you can understand how it flows. If you haven't filed your free application for federal student aid, or maybe you haven't even been admitted to Whitworth yet, please take those steps to do that so we can get you an offer that looks like this. If you have already received yours, please get yours out, and you can make notes on it as we go. In the top right-hand corner, we do give you your student ID. That's an important number to have. That's your identification number here at the university. Oftentimes, if a student calls, we will ask for that number to ensure identity and that we're in the right student's record. So that's a good number to have as a reference. We always date our financial aid offers so that families can keep track of which ones came when, and maybe which ones were assigned to which FAFSA if you make some changes on your FAFSA. Our offers are good for 12 to 16 credits a semester, so students can earn 12 to 16 credits in the fall and 12 to 16 credits in the spring, and this offer will cover that. We indicate which family contribution we used to calculate the student's sources, as well as where the student will be residing when on campus. So this first bracket shows you the scholarships and grants. And like I said a moment ago, this is the most popular type of financial aid because it doesn't have to be earned and it doesn't have to be repaid. It's considered gift aid. So in this case, the student has $25,000 in a university scholarship. This scholarship would have been awarded to the student upon admittance to the university. Then the student also filed the free application for federal student aid. So the student received a university grant of $2,400. We're actually guaranteeing that every student who files the free application for federal student aid will receive a minimum $500 university grant. So again, if you haven't filed the FAFSA, we're going to encourage you to do that, guaranteeing you'll receive a minimum $500 university grant from Whitworth. We offer a $4,000 campus housing grant, encouraging students to reside on campus. And then we provide a total of all the grants and scholarships available to the student. This next slide just is an overview of the resources at Whitworth University. As I mentioned, the university scholarship is awarded upon admittance. It ranges from $16,000 to $30,000. We have the on-campus housing grant, $4,000, which is renewable as long as the student is living on campus. Students can audition or try out for, like if it's theater or art, for talent and participation scholarships. We have it in forensics, and we have Young Life scholarships and we have participatory scholarships for Young Life. So you might want to check some of those out on our website. We partner with our Washington State College Bound program. Students who have a 3.0 or better been awarded the College Bound program will receive 100% full tuition in gift aid from the university. So in combination with all their scholarships and grants, we'll make sure that the tuition is covered with all gift aid. Honors scholarship weekends are offered to our honors admitted students, and students can compete up to full tuition. Students who have participated in one of our designated visit programs will receive a scholarship for the first year of attendance. That is the only non-renewable scholarship that we have, so that scholarship is just for the first year. And then we recognize that we have some military families maybe who have served but don't have 100% benefits, and we'll help those students up to $1,500 depending on the benefits they are bringing or aren't bringing to Whitworth. National Merit Semi-Finance Scholarships will receive $2,000, and our students coming from local community colleges in the honors programs there, participating in Phi Theta Kappa, will receive $1,500. We continue to support our students once they become Whitworth Pirates. We don't front load those scholarships, so we don't create a first year offer that's really robust and then take money away. As I said, all our funds are renewable, so that, except for the visit scholarship. We do offer 150 different donor-based scholarships. We are very blessed here at Whitworth to have a lot of supporters of our students who give funds specifically for scholarships. So we're able to award those to students each year, helping them in their sophomore, junior, and senior year. Students can continue to audition or apply for participation scholarships on campus. Each academic department has 3 to 21 scholarships that can be awarded. And we have a scholarship coordinator here on our campus, specifically helping students with processing their outside scholarships that they bring to us, as well as looking for outside scholarships and sending them out to our current students in hopes of, helping them that way. So we're committed to the financial aid support throughout the student's career here at Whitworth. Okay, going back to the financial aid offer, the next bracket highlights student loans. We participate in the federal direct subsidized and unsubsidized loan programs. Like I had said before, these are not commercial loans. These are student-focused federal student loans. The subsidized loan is based on financial need. So the financial aid office takes the cost of attendance assigned to the student, both billable and non-billable costs, and subtracts the family contribution minus any other aid, gift aid the student will be receiving. And if the student still shows financial need, the student will qualify for this program. And then the student is also eligible for additional funds under the unsubsidized loan program. That is not based on financial need. These programs have a small fee and a low interest rate. Students in the first year of study can borrow up to $5,500, with a maximum of $3,500 being from the subsidized loan program. Sophomores can borrow up to $6,500 on both programs, with a maximum of $4,500 under the subsidized. And then juniors and seniors can borrow up to $7,500, with a maximum of $5,500 each year on the subsidized loan program. So the government has not increased the borrowing on these programs for a really long time, but they're an excellent resource for students. You will see on this next slide where these loans have like 6 different repayment options students can use to repay. They're not locked into one repayment plan. They can start off with a lower payment and then increase it as their income goes up, which is great. They have 6 months from the time that they leave school to begin payment on these interests, principal and interest. The subsidized loan, the government is actually paying the interest on that loan while the student is in school. The unsubsidized, the government is not paying the interest. The student can either pay it or pay it at the time they go into repayment after their 6-month grace period. Interest does not capitalize on top of interest, so there's no snowball effect on the interest. So these are very strong student-focused loan programs. Here's a list of those different repayment options I mentioned. There's no penalty for switching payment plans at any time. So that's very helpful to the student because, the situations change throughout their reborrowing. There's also a public service loan forgiveness program where if students are working in nonprofit situations and for a certain amount of time, the government will come in and help them pay back their balance of their loan. That's something students can look into. So again, excellent opportunity to build credit and to have some resources for those college years. Okay, going back to the financial aid offer, this is a little overview of our costs, tuition and mandatory fees, $50,920, on-campus housing and meal plan with a roommate and a full meal plan is $13,700. So the total cost, billable, or what we would call direct, $64,620. This is how it breaks out. There is typically a small increase each year. We try to keep those to a minimum. Our leadership is very good about stewarding our resources, and we're a campus that pays close attention to our budget. And so we try very hard to keep any increases that we have to make to a minimum. So these are the costs for 23-24. We did some math for everyone so that they can see how much it would cost for the billable costs minus just the scholarships and grants. The student would owe $33,220. And then if the student decided to take out the federal student loans, that goes down to $27,720. We recognize that that's what we consider kind of a gap. That's what's owed. So we created a cost worksheet for families that will be included with the offer. And this is a great tool families can use. It outlines the costs, which I just want to highlight. One of the costs is a Jan term fee for $325. What's great about that is students come back in January. It's usually beautiful on campus, so it looks like a winter wonderland forest. And students come back and can take 1 to 5 credits for just $325. So a student could technically take 37 credits in the first year of their attendance here at Whitworth if they took 16 each semester and then took 5 credits in Jan term. This then allows you to indicate your meal plan and housing situation, your grants and scholarships, whether you're taking out those loans, and then you can do the math to come up with how much is owed. We like to highlight that paying the gap doesn't just always come from one source. It's a variety of resources that help families pay the gap, and that can be parent savings, student savings. We really encourage our seniors to stick away their graduation money. We encourage summer work, having the student help out with that balance. We encourage student employment, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. There's the federal parent loan I'll explain. There's private education loans. Highly encourage students to be connecting with their high school counselor and community members about outside scholarships. Some families may have 529 plans. Here at the university, we have an interest-free 4-month payment plan, so you can take any balance due divided by 4 and just pay $50 to do that. And some families have some assets or equity that they decide to use to help with that gap as well. We have an online calculator, and there is a link on the bottom of that cost worksheet to an online calculator if you would like to do it online as well. Okay. As I mentioned on the cost worksheet, those additional resources, 2 of them are here highlighted on the offer. This student qualifies for $4,200 under the federal work-study program, which means that the student will receive some information over the summer about working on campus. And there's a variety of jobs on campus. So even if a student doesn't qualify for federal work study and just has student employment on their offer, they will get information in August, and they will be directed to a portal called Handshake that has the jobs posted. And so it's a great process. I think there's a slide coming up. It'll give more details in a minute. And then there's the federal parent loan, where parents can borrow directly from the federal government. The only caveat there is parents do have to show credit worthiness to qualify for the loan, unlike the students where those loans are federally guaranteed and approved. As I mentioned, there's that online portal for students looking for student employment on campus. That usually opens in late August. We encourage students to come prepared to interview, which means bringing a resume, letters of recommendation. We like to create that opportunity for them to build those skills. We have a very awesome career services office on campus. The staff over there are wonderful, and they'll be able to help students if they need help with a resume or the job search process. Here in the state of Washington, our minimum wage is now $15.74. So students who work about 8 to 10 hours a week can earn somewhere between $3,700 to $4,700. Sometimes students will work full-time during breaks, some will go home during breaks. But it's great. This is a great way for them to help pay on their student account or to help pay for those incidentals like laundry and pizza and travel home. Students receive payment directly twice a month. And there are, like I said, a good number of positions available on campus. Our office in Student Financial Services, we have 4 student employees. They're rock stars. They're getting great job experience. But we also know statistically, we know from doing surveys and other statistics that students at work while going to college are more successful. They retain better in their college experience because they have gotten to know faculty and staff who support them. They have a flexible job that works with their studies. They're better with time management, and they're just more connected overall to the university. So we highly encourage student employment. All right, credit-based loans, as I mentioned to you, the federal government has a federal parent loans parents can borrow on. This loan does require creditworthiness, and when we define parent, or when the government defines parent, that can be a biological adoptive parent or a student step parent. The interest rate is fairly low and changes on July 1st based on the T-bills. Interest is charged at the time of disbursement, so only on the amount dispersed will interest be charged. Parents do not have to pay on this loan until 60 days after the student leaves school, but like the unsubsidized loan for the student, the interest will be charged. It doesn't compound on top of interest, so there's no snowball effect, just like the unsubsidized. But there is some flexibility around that, so that helps families with the budgeting and the gap. If for some reason a parent is not approved for the federal parent loan, then the student can borrow an additional unsubsidized loan for $4,000. We will probably see the application process for next year open mid-April at studentaid.gov. In addition, there are a variety of private banks and credit unions who offer education loans for parents and students. We do have some information out on our website. Legally, we are not allowed to recommend any bank or credit union for you, but we can encourage you, we can share with you the things to think about, and we can list the lenders that our students are currently using here on campus for those loans. We understand that the free application for federal student aid may not capture all of the circumstances related to your family's resources. So we ask that you, if you do have a special circumstance, and we have some examples listed here, like a loss of income, maybe a parent has had to return to college for some job training, high medical or dental expenses that aren't covered by insurance. We're seeing more and more families take in other family members and support them. And then private school tuition. We're a private school, so we make adjustments for private school tuition expense. So if a family has one of these, or even has something that's not listed here, we encourage you to talk to your admissions counselor, have a Zoom call with him or her, and explain your situation. There are some forms you need to complete. And your financial aid counselor will review the special circumstances and see if it makes a difference in your financial aid resources. Students don't have to do anything to accept their financial aid offer. We automatically accept the scholarships and grants for them and the work study. They just have to tell us if they do not want the federal student loans. They can do that by calling us or emailing us. We do need the student to take that action because these loans are in the student's name and not the parents. So we ask that the students do that. Otherwise, there's no action that's required to accept the financial aid offer. I'll just highlight some billing dates that will be coming in late spring. Our fall semester starts in September. So we ask that families have made payment arrangements by mid-August. And then for spring semester, it starts at the beginning of February, and we ask that those are made by mid-January, end of February. And we provide parents and students the options of paying the balance in full, setting up the payment plan, or taking out a credit-based loan. In early summer, we send families a pre-bill workbook to help them with an overview of the billing process for the year. And then in July, we send another piece of information to students saying, here are your charges, please review them, and then get your billing situated for the next term by mid-August, which would be for the fall term. If we have to make a change to your financial aid offer for any reason, special circumstances, let's say, we will send you an email and you will be able to see your financial aid offer in our secure student portal called self-service. You'll want to check self-service regularly to see if there's any documents that are missing or any actions that are being asked you to do. If you need to report outside scholarships, you can do that online. I'll show you where you can do that, but there's an easy online form. We do need all outside scholarships reported to us. And then we provide in your offer packet a booklet called Unpacking Your Financial Aid Offer. It's bright red. I think it's on the next slide coming up. And it will be in the envelope with your offer, and it provides a really nice overview of the resources that are part of your financial aid offer, some timelines, information about those credit-based loans, parent loans. So it's a very nice piece. We also have developed a financial aid offer webpage, which provides just an overview of the different areas that you might need help in this process. So if you lose your Unpacking Your Financial Aid Offer, we have it there again for you. If you want to participate in a video with a financial aid counselor, there's that option. We provide a glossary of terms. We ask that you consider getting connected with your admissions counselor for a Zoom call if you haven't already done that. And then there's just some cost worksheets for you, a link to our financial aid forms, as well as a link to that online form for reporting outside scholarships. Next steps, yes, schedule an individual Zoom call with your admissions counselor if you haven't already done that. That's a great group of people over at admissions. We work really closely with them, and they're so excited to help students become a part of our community. Take that time to meet them and connect with them and ask your questions. Pay your $350 enrollment deposit no later than May 1st. Get in line for your housing, be at the front of the line, I should say, for your housing and registration, all the processes that we're going to want you to do to get set up for fall. You will receive a housing preference form shortly after depositing. Make sure you get that in right away so that your preferences can be taken into consideration. And then in mid-May, we'll schedule your registration appointment and get you set up for your classes, which is just a really exciting process. So you get to do some key things before you even graduate from high school, so that in June, you're just taking that breath, enjoying that moment, but then also really looking forward to becoming a pirate here at Whitworth University. Here's our team at our Christmas gathering. We're all smiles because we love what we do. We enjoy working with each other. We are blessed to be on this beautiful campus. And we're here to serve you. You are about what we do on a daily basis. So please call us, connect with us any way that feels comfortable for you. We're always here. No question is dumb. So anyways, take care. I hope that you found this was helpful.